A $100 million penthouse sits empty above Monaco's harbor, its owner unseen. On the streets below, a $142 million Mercedes idles next to a yacht berth that costs $138,000 for a single weekend. In just 72 hours, $10 billion will quietly change hands. But in Monaco, the real contest isn't the Grand Prix. Here, billionaires battle for invisibility, where a careless photo or a whispered name can mean instant exile. In this city of secrets, the ultimate prize isn't a trophy. It's mastering the art of vanishing in plain sight. For 3 days, the Monaco Grand Prix turns the principality into a living case study of what happens when money is no object and privacy is the ultimate luxury. For 72 hours, the world's richest people descend on this tiny strip of coastline, and the numbers are almost surreal. A $142 million Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut coupe, one of only 2 ever built, wasn't just displayed, but actually driven through Monte Carlo's streets, looping down the Fairmont hairpin as if it were just another Sunday drive. The message is clear. Here, even the rarest car on Earth is just another toy. Meanwhile, the harbor transforms into a floating city of superyachts, their decks lined up like a billionaire's parade. Mooring fees for a prime berth hit $138,000 for the weekend, if you can even get a spot. These aren't just boats, they're private boardrooms, art galleries, and party venues, all rolled into one. On one yacht, a Russian billionaire hosted an art auction where individual pieces sold for over $50 million, and his collection was valued at nearly $2 billion. The yachts themselves become status symbols with their own pecking order. The closer you are to the tunnel corner, the higher your social standing. The airspace above Monaco is just as crowded. Over 1,000 private jets land at Nice Airport, with round-trip flights costing anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000. The tarmac becomes a traffic jam of Gulfstreams and Bombardiers, each one a flying boardroom. The total bill for jet fuel and landing fees alone can reach $100 million before the race even starts. For many, the flight is just the beginning. Chauffeurs and security teams whisk guests to private suites, where the real business of the weekend begins. On land, the real estate market goes into overdrive. A billionaire quietly snapped up a penthouse for $100 million in a city where real estate averages $5,200 per square foot, making Monaco's skyline one of the most expensive on Earth. These trophy properties are rarely advertised, deals are done in whispers, and the most coveted addresses never hit the open market. For the ultra-wealthy, owning a piece of Monaco is less about living space and more about securing a foothold in the world's most exclusive club. Even the hotels become part of the spectacle. VIP race view packages can cost $1 million, and one guest booked an entire hotel floor for $2.5 million, roughly $833,000 per night. These aren't just rooms, they're private sanctuaries where deals are made and alliances are formed, far from the eyes of the public. The lobbies become impromptu trading floors, with hedge fund managers and tech founders exchanging business cards over champagne. By the end of the weekend, more than $10 billion had flowed through Monaco, more than the annual GDP of some small countries. But here's the twist. For residents, this isn't about showing off. The Grand Prix is a carefully orchestrated stage for private networking, business negotiations, and subtle social maneuvering. Yacht parties double as board meetings. Art auctions are cover for discreet introductions. The real action happens behind closed doors, where the only thing more valuable than money is the ability to keep it, and yourself, out of the spotlight. In Monaco, the Grand Prix isn't just a race. It's a masterclass in how the ultra-wealthy turn scarcity, spectacle, and secrecy into the world's most expensive weekend, a place where the true currency is not what you spend, but what you can keep hidden. But if you think all this spectacle is just about money and parties, you're only seeing the surface. Beneath the roar of engines and the shimmer of champagne, Monaco runs on a set of invisible rules that even billionaires can't buy their way into. Rules that quietly decide who truly belongs and who's just passing through. Every year, 20 Formula One drivers race through Monaco's narrow streets, while 200,000 spectators watch from grandstands and balconies. But here's what tourists don't realize. The Monaco Grand Prix serves as a controlled networking stage for ultra-wealthy residents, alongside racing. It's the world's most exclusive business meeting disguised as entertainment, where billion-dollar deals get negotiated in yacht clubs while everyone else watches cars go in circles. Monaco's government carefully coordinates the timing of these events to maximize networking value for residents. The Grand Prix happens in late May, when weather conditions are perfect for outdoor meetings and yacht gatherings. The yacht show occurs in late September, when business leaders return from summer vacations and start planning major financial moves for the following year. These dates aren't coincidental. They're strategically chosen to bring together the maximum number of ultra-wealthy individuals. The Billionaire Club demonstrates how public events provide cover for private networking. Created by Flavio Briatore, the club charges $4,000 for standard tables during Grand Prix weekend. But the real value comes from networking opportunities with other wealthy attendees rather than watching the race itself. Business cards get exchanged, investment opportunities get discussed, joint ventures get planned while cars race past the windows. Monaco residents understand that being seen at the right events matters for maintaining their social and business networks. The Grand Prix weekend functions as what insiders call a status audit, where attendance signals your continued relevance in ultra-wealthy circles. Missing these events means missing opportunities to strengthen relationships that drive future business deals. When you step back and examine all these layers, the invisible social codes, the government protection, the strategic networking disguised as entertainment, a remarkable picture emerges of what Monaco has actually accomplished. But beneath all the spectacle and strategy, Monaco is quietly running an experiment unlike anything else on Earth, one that's rewriting the rules of what it means to be rich and what it takes to live a truly private life. The real Monaco operates on completely different rules that most visitors never discover. While tourists snap photos of supercars, actual residents follow an invisible social architecture that determines who belongs and who doesn't. And who gets invited to the freak-offs? More on that later. Here's the shocking truth about Monaco's power structure. Having $10 billion might get you a residency permit, but it won't automatically get you invited to the right dinner parties. The established elite families who've lived here for decades control access to the inner circles through unwritten social codes that new money often struggles to crack. These aren't written rules you can study or hire consultants to teach you. They're cultural signals passed down through generations of wealth. The social barriers become most obvious at Monaco's exclusive clubs and private events. New residents often discover their applications to certain yacht clubs get mysteriously delayed or rejected despite their massive bank accounts. Existing members serve as gatekeepers, carefully evaluating whether newcomers understand the community's values. They're not just looking at financial statements. They're watching how potential members interact with staff, whether they gossip about other residents, and if they can keep business conversations private. Even at restaurants, established residents use coded language when discussing sensitive matters, and major deals during Grand Prix weekend often happen over sushi on a yacht rather than in public dining rooms. What's even more surprising is that these invisible boundaries don't just shape private lives. They quietly influence how the entire city operates, from the shops you frequent to the very laws that keep Monaco's secrets safe. So how does a place built on privacy and discretion actually enforce its own unwritten rules? Monaco's government is known for its strong emphasis on resident privacy and discretion, especially for its wealthy population. The principality's residency process is highly selective. Most applicants must deposit between 500,000 euros and 1 million euros in a local bank, secure a year-long lease or own property, and undergo thorough background checks and in-person interviews. These requirements ensure that new residents have both the financial means and the personal discretion expected in Monaco's community. Monaco's banks are rigorous in their compliance, performing detailed Know Your Client (KYC) checks to confirm the legality and source of funds. This financial vetting is a core part of the residency process and reflects the principality's commitment to maintaining a reputable and secure environment. Privacy is further protected through regulations that restrict commercial and paparazzi photography. Permits are required for these organizations, and the principality's authorities enforce these rules to support the privacy of residents. Monaco's small size and high police presence contribute to a culture where personal boundaries are respected. Public spaces in Monaco are monitored by security cameras and a visible police force, which helps maintain safety and order. Private security firms operating in Monaco must follow strict confidentiality standards and are subject to government oversight. Financial privacy is a hallmark of life in Monaco. Residents benefit from the absence of personal income tax and a relatively light approach to financial reporting. However, residents are required to provide ongoing proof of means and renew their permits periodically. Monaco's diplomatic staff handle a range of international matters, supporting the Principality's reputation as a secure and discreet haven for its residents. In summary, Monaco offers a sanctuary built on discretion, selective enforcement, and a culture that prizes privacy. The government's approach is to foster an environment where residents can enjoy security and anonymity, achieved through careful vetting, community standards, and a shared understanding of what it means to live in Monaco. Yet, even with all these official protections, the real test for newcomers isn't passing a background check. It's navigating the centuries-old social rituals that quietly decide who truly belongs. And nowhere is this more obvious than when new money tries to break into Monaco's most exclusive circles. In a world where billionaires compete with mega yachts and private jets that cost more than small countries' GDP, Monaco's elite have discovered something counterintuitive. The wealthiest people work hardest to appear completely ordinary. The competitive aspect of invisible status creates interesting dynamics. Who can live most normally despite having billions? Real estate choices demonstrate this philosophy perfectly. While tourists focus on the visible luxury of Monaco's waterfront penthouses, the most exclusive residences remain completely hidden from public view. The Omegon Tower apartments feature biometric codes and non-public floors that don't appear on any building directory. These residences have separate entrances accessed by drivers who know which alley to stop in, but not why. True luxury exists in spaces that most people never realize exist. The security arrangements reflect this preference for invisibility as well. Security is handled not by uniformed guards, but by former intelligence officers who speak multiple languages and never blink. These professionals protect their clients while maintaining the appearance of normalcy that residents value so highly. Instead of obvious bodyguards or flashy security details, residents use protection that blends seamlessly into daily life. This discretion protects residents from unwanted attention, security risks, and social obligations that come with visible wealth. Paparazzi can't photograph what they can't identify. Criminals can't target people who don't stand out. The invisibility creates a protective barrier that money alone can't provide. The ultimate power move in Monaco involves having billions while living like you don't need to prove it to anyone. This creates a unique environment where extraordinary wealth coexists with ordinary social interactions. But Monaco's commitment to discretion extends beyond daily life into how the Principality handles its most public moments. And while this culture of stealth wealth shapes daily life, it's during Monaco's most public moments, when the world is watching, that the true genius of this invisible society comes into focus. Monaco represents something unprecedented in human history, a country designed not for regular citizens, but specifically for the ultra-wealthy to live completely normal lives. Every invisible rule, government protection system, and social structure works together to solve the fundamental problems that come with extreme wealth. Think about what billionaires actually want: security without obvious bodyguards, privacy without constant media attention, social acceptance without people treating them differently because of their money, normal conversations without investment pitches, simple daily activities without complications from their wealth status. Monaco delivers all of this through its unique social experiment. And that's a wrap. A lot of time and effort was put into this video. If you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos into the 1% and the 0.1%. See you in the next video.